Thank you very much. It's a very worthy project. I'd like to go on to our next guest now, Jane Bright. Jane was just recently honored as Woman of the Year for her work with the Evan Ashcraft Memorial Foundation from the 40th Assembly District here locally. Jane, first I want to extend my deepest sympathy for the loss of your son, Evan. I'm a mother myself. I cannot imagine what the amount of pain that your family must have gone through. I think it's very brave for you to have done this. For those who have not heard of your foundation, could you please tell us a little bit about what Evan's Foundation is doing and what they are accomplishing?
Well, the foundation was set up in Evan's memory to help returning active combat soldiers, not just soldiers, Marines, Navy and Air Force, from both Afghanistan and Iraq. We provide funding for post-traumatic stress disorder. We also provide scholarships for the children of military personnel killed in Iraq or Afghanistan. So it's a twofold project. Evan had said that he wanted to come home and help people. They had seen so many things in Iraq, and he felt that that would be his mission coming home. To date, we've been able to provide scholarships, college scholarships for 2 dependents. We've been able to fund as well as receive matching funds for an organization in San Diego County called ASYMCA, and they provide in-home family crisis counseling because the families so often are part of the reintegration process for the soldiers, for the military personnel. So, and we have a couple of instances where we know for certain that we've saved lives. Suicidal family members, suicidal veterans. So, as you can well imagine, losing a child, losing a spouse, especially under these circumstances, reverberates not only throughout the family but throughout the community. As you had stated, Evan was the 249th soldier killed. As we come up on the number 3,000, which will probably happen by the end of December, we realize that there are going to be thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of military personnel coming home who will need help with post-traumatic stress disorder. And the Veterans Administration for 2005 predicted a $2.5 billion shortfall. So even the VA is saying, we don't have the money to take care of the military personnel who are coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan. Since 2003, benefits have been cut $30 billion. So it is going to be up to the community, up to the citizens to truly support our troops when they come home by providing them with what they need.
That's very, very important. I think we're looking at a poster right now here of Evan, very nice-looking young man. When was this taken?
The picture in profile was taken of Evan sometime in 2005. He was doing a really incredibly important thing. He was playing video games with his brother. And then the profile picture is the one that we used for his funeral. And then the picture, the smaller picture was taken in I believe it was in a helicopter in Kuwait when he deployed in March of 2003 prior to going to Iraq. And, you know, it's Evan the citizen, Evan the soldier.
Sure. You know, it's so important to support our troops when they're over there, and you and I were talking about this earlier. It's one thing to support them while they're actually fighting over there, but oftentimes we feel as though they're deserted once they come home. And so a foundation such as yours is so very, very important. Do you have any personal stories you can relate from families that you have been in contact with?
Absolutely. In fact, I was just talking to a soldier earlier this week. He said that one of the biggest challenges, and I've heard this from quite a few military, one of the biggest challenges they face is they know they've changed. They've gone there. They've seen horrific things, and these were his words. He said, I saw horrific things, I did horrific things because I was angry because my buddies were being killed. And for me to come back and try to be the same person that I was is nearly impossible. They've changed, they know they've changed, their families don't understand it. And he was incredibly articulate, incredibly sensitive. We work with another soldier who actually, when he came back from Iraq, he went to South Central LA and started picking fights with gang members, hoping that one of them would kill him.
Oh, my gosh.
And once he realized what was going on, he didn't realize he had PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Once he realized that, he got help and has finished his degree and is now actually doing outreach counseling as well. So a lot of the military who are able to articulate their concerns, their fears, their anxiety, once they feel on solid ground, they're able to then go back and help veterans coming back.
That's great.
So it is quite a cycle.
Yeah, yeah. You, along with Cindy Sheehan, actually, are
Yes.
a founding member of the Gold Star Families for Peace.
Correct.
Considering how the tide that changed in this country in the last election, do you think that your organization had a real impact on that?
Well, I think our organization, as well as several others, for instance, Military Families Speak Out, Veterans for Peace, Iraq Veterans Against the War, there was a tidal wave of information coming out, and I think that all of these things and these organizations helped lend to the awareness that the American people have to have about the critical issues surrounding veterans and their needs when they return. We have not even begun to see the return. There will be probably around 500,000 veterans coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, and they're going to need a tremendous amount of assistance.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think that definitely heroism is a trait that runs in your family. And we will show afterwards how to get in touch with your foundation as well. I would like to go to our next guest, who is Jessica Riendeau, our final guest this evening. Jessica, you've been traveling to India for 32 years, is that right, off and on?
A little longer, but I'm not going to tell you how old I am.
I know you acquired land there, you built a home there, you developed a partnership there, all in preparation for building this orphanage. Can you tell us, please, exactly where is it located and how many children is it going to house?
Sure. Well, the orphanage, it's called Humans for Humanity, first of all. And the location is a town in the center of India, central India, called Walki, W-A-L-K-I, in the town of Ahmednagar, close to Ahmednagar, which is about a 2-hour drive from Pune.
Mm-hmm.
And my partner, whose name is Khurshid Patan, you'll see a picture of he and his family in a minute, grew up in Walki, or at least till he was 9 months old, at which time his mother died. And at which time his mother's sister, who became his father's wife, which is not that uncommon in India for a sibling of a deceased spouse to marry the widow or widower.
Right, right.
Who proceeded to try to kill him.
Oh my gosh.
In several ways, drowning and so forth. So the government took him away from the family and put him in an orphanage. He was my driver when I first started coming to India, or going to India, and over the next 30 years, of course, we've had a wonderful friendship. And through a series of travels, we discovered each other's story.
Oh, okay.